Today, I want to share something with you. A woman over 45 who is looking for a side income. Now, this is not about a concept, nor is it something for you to ponder. It's actually about an actual path you can walk. I know what it feels like to sit with an approach that sounds good in theory, but starts to slowly crumble the moment you try applying it to your own life. You think, of course, yes, that makes sense for some people, but maybe not necessarily for me. Whether it's because you feel your situation is too specific, too complicated, or too different from the general examples being given by the experts. So, before I walk you through the alternative path I'm suggesting, what I call the calm income path, I want to say this directly. This framework was not built for every single woman. It was built for a woman who has spent decades accumulating knowledge, skills, and experience within someone else's structure, namely a job, community organization, or family. This approach is for women who are trying to figure out how to build something of their own at their own pace without starting from scratch or pretending to be someone they're not. If that sounds familiar, then this walkthrough is for you. Before we start, I also want to point out something you might be feeling right now, because I have heard it enough times to know it is common. You might be thinking, I have seen many different approaches. I've read the books and blog posts, watched the videos, and followed various social media accounts, but nothing has quite clicked into place. Here is why I think this is different. Most income building roadmaps were designed for a different kind of person at a different point in life with a different relationship to hustle, speed, and how they show up in the world. The calm income path was designed specifically around how women in this chapter actually move, not how productivity culture says you should move, not how a 28-year-old with unlimited energy and nothing to lose would move, but how you actually move with intention, with forethought and discernment, and with a nervous system that has already been through enough. Let's walk through it. I want you to think about what a path actually is. A path is not a race, it is not a sprint to a finish line. It is a clear and walkable direction that someone has already thought through. So you don't have to figure out every single step from scratch. There is no rush on a path. There is direction, there is movement that builds steadily, and there is a destination that becomes more visible the further you walk. The path itself is calm, deliberate, already there under your feet. That is the image I want you to hold onto as we go through this. The calm income path is your 3 step journey from where you are right now, which is I have something valuable, but I do not yet know how to earn from it, to where you are going, meaning I'm earning from what I know in a sustainable way and at a pace I can maintain. Not a sprint, not a launch, but a clear, organized, calm walk forward. 3 steps. Let me walk you through each one. Step 1, uncover. This is where you get clear about who you are and what you carry. Most women try to start by figuring out what to sell. They sit down one evening and try to build something before they have even figured out what they actually are. And without that foundation, nothing quite fits. Whatever they build feels borrowed, just like what many others are doing. It feels like something they are performing rather than something they are. Uncover is the step that changes that. The Calm Income Archetype quiz exists specifically for this step. It doesn't tell you what to do, it tells you what you already are. It identifies the natural way you engage with people, share knowledge, solve problems, and create value. Once you know your archetype, the direction forward becomes much clearer because you are not inventing something new. You are recognizing something that's always been there. The income clarity session also belongs here. You look back at your full history, what you have been paid for, what people have consistently come to you about, and what skills and knowledge all of that required. You filter that history down to what you enjoy, what comes naturally, and what people have actively sought you out for. That becomes your inventory, the foundation of everything that follows. Uncover means I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what I carry. Step two, shape. Knowing what you have is not the same as having an offer. Step two is where you turn all the information you have uncovered into something with a clear shape, scope, outcome, and a price that feels right in your body. This is often where women get stuck. And I want to spend a moment here because I think the sticking point is misunderstood. The challenge is rarely that you don't know enough. The challenge is that shaping an offer requires making decisions. And making decisions means closing doors. It means saying, this is what I offer, which also means saying, these are the things I do not offer. Now, that can feel risky when you're just beginning. But here is what I have learned: a shaped offer is what makes it possible for someone to say yes to you. An unshaped offer, something vague, unrealistically expansive, undefined, and has nothing to do with you, makes it almost impossible for anyone to buy. Not because the value is not there, but because the buyer cannot see clearly what they are getting and what it will do for them. Shape your offer around three questions. What specifically do I help with? What changes for the person that I help? And what is the price I charge that I can confidently stand behind without resentment? You do not need to get this perfect. You need to get it clear enough to begin. Step three, begin. This is the step that matters most and the one that most frameworks rush past. Step three is not a launch. It's not an announcement to the world that you've arrived. It's simply beginning. Beginning means your first conversation with a potential client, your first yes, your first delivery of the thing you have shaped at a pace your nervous system can actually sustain. Here is what I want you to understand about beginning: it doesn't have to be big to be real. One client is a client, one paid conversation is income, one person whose life is better because of what you offered is proof that what you have is valuable. You don't need 100 clients to validate the path. You need one, and then another after that. Not in rapid sequence, calmly, and as they come. Beginning is not passive. It is an intentional move forward at a pace that doesn't burn you out before you've even found your rhythm. It is a doable alternative to the launch culture that tells you to go big or go home. Calm income does not go big, it goes steadily, and steady is what lasts. I want to be clear about what the calm income path is not, because this is important. It is not a hustle. There's no version of this that requires you to post every day, be everywhere online, build a massive audience before you earn your first dollar, or turn yourself into a personal brand that never sleeps. It is not a grind. If what you are building starts to feel like the job you left, that is a signal that you're going in the wrong direction, not an indication to push through. And it is not a strategy document, a business plan, an LLC, a website, a logo, a social media presence, or a product suite. You only need three things: an archetype, a shaped offer, and a first conversation. The calm income path works because it starts exactly where you are, not where you think you should be, not where hustle culture says you need to be, where you actually are, right here and right now, with what you actually have. That's enough to begin. Here's what I want you to hold on to from today: the path is already there. You did not have to earn it. You did not have to build it from scratch. It's made from everything you have already lived, learned, and survived. The decades of work, the relationships, the problems you solve, the knowledge you hold so naturally, you stop seeing it as something special. All of that is the path. You do not have to create it. You just have to begin walking it. The Calm Income Archetype quiz linked below is your step one. It takes about 5 minutes and it will show you which income path fits what you already carry. Take it, find your archetype, and let that be the beginning. The path is already there. You're already on it.